Leadership is not a position, nor is it a title. It is not about power or control. Leadership is a responsibility, a commitment, a way of being that inspires and guides others toward a greater purpose. True leadership is not measured by how many people report to you, how much authority you wield, or the recognition you receive. It is measured by the impact you have on those around you, by the trust you build, and by the willingness of others to follow you, not because they have to, but because they want to. The essence of leadership begins with a simple but profound realization: leadership is about service. The best leaders are not the ones who demand loyalty, but those who earn it by putting others before themselves. They create environments where people feel safe, valued, and inspired to give their best. They do not lead through fear or intimidation, but through trust and example. They recognize that their role is not to stand above others, but to stand with them, lifting them up and empowering them to achieve more than they ever thought possible. To become a good leader, one must first understand the power of purpose. People do not rally behind a paycheck. They do not commit themselves fully to a task simply because they are told to do so. They give their best when they believe in something bigger than themselves. A true leader does not just tell people what to do, but helps them understand why it matters. They articulate a vision so compelling that others feel an intrinsic desire to be part of it. This is not manipulation, it is inspiration. A great leader does not push people toward a goal, but pulls them toward a shared belief, a cause, a future that excites and motivates them. But having a vision is not enough. A leader must embody the values they preach. Words are meaningless without action. People follow those they trust, and trust is built through consistency, integrity, and authenticity. A leader who says one thing and does another is not a leader at all, but a hypocrite. Leadership requires walking the talk, setting an example, and showing through action what is expected of others. If a leader demands hard work, they must be the hardest worker. If they expect honesty, they must be honest even when it is difficult. If they ask for commitment, they must be the first to show unwavering dedication. Leadership is not about knowing all the answers. It is not about having the perfect plan or making mistakes. In fact, some of the best leaders are those who readily admit they do not have all the answers. They surround themselves with people who are smarter than them, who bring diverse perspectives and ideas, and they listen. They do not pretend to be infallible or omniscient, but they are curious, humble, and open to learning. They ask questions, they seek advice, and they value the input of those they lead. When a leader creates an environment where people feel heard and respected, they foster innovation, creativity, and trust. A great leader also understands that leadership is not about them. It is about the people they serve. The success of a leader is not measured by their own achievements, but by the growth and success of those around them. The best leaders are those who invest in their people, who mentor, coach, and guide them toward their own potential. They do not hoard opportunities or keep knowledge to themselves out of fear of being replaced. Instead, they celebrate the success of their team, knowing that true leadership is about building others up, not keeping them down. One of the most important qualities of a good leader is the ability to create a sense of safety. In any organization, whether a business, a community, or a family, people thrive when they feel safe. They take risks, they innovate, and they give their best when they know that their leader has their back. A leader who rules through fear may get compliance, but they will never get commitment. True leaders build environments of trust, where people feel secure enough to be honest, to take chances, and to admit mistakes without fear of punishment. They do not blame or shame, but encourage and support. When people feel safe, they become loyal, not out of obligation, but out of gratitude and respect. Leadership is also about courage. It is about making difficult decisions, standing up for what is right, and taking responsibility even when it is uncomfortable. A leader does not shy away from challenges or avoid responsibility when things go wrong. They do not point fingers or shift blame. Instead, they step up, own their mistakes, and work to fix them. They make tough choices not for personal gain, but for the good of the team, the organization, or the mission. This kind of courage earns respect because it shows that the leader is willing to do what is right, not just what is easy. Empathy is another cornerstone of leadership. A good leader does not see people as numbers or assets, but as human beings with emotions, dreams, and struggles. They take the time to understand the people they lead, to listen to their concerns, and to support them not just professionally, but personally. When people feel that their leader genuinely cares about them, they respond with loyalty and commitment. They go the extra mile not because they have to, but because they want to. Great leaders also recognize that leadership is a journey, not a destination. No one is born a perfect leader. Leadership is a skill that must be developed, practiced, and refined over time. It requires self-awareness, the willingness to reflect, and the humility to admit when improvement is needed. Good leaders seek feedback, they continuously learn, and they strive to be better every day. They understand that their growth as a leader is directly tied to the growth of those they serve. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of leadership is the ability to inspire. Inspiration is not about motivational speeches or grand gestures. It is about making people feel valued, giving them a sense of purpose, and showing them what is possible. A leader's job is not to dictate every move, but to set the stage for people to step into their own potential. It is about igniting a spark in others, helping them see what they are capable of, and giving them the confidence to pursue it. In the end, leadership is about legacy. It is not about how much power one holds, but about how much of an impact one makes. It is not about personal success, but about the success of those who follow. A true leader does not seek to be remembered for their own achievements, but for the people they have helped grow, the lives they have touched, and the difference they have made. Leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those in your charge. To be a good leader is to serve, to inspire, to listen, to act with integrity, and to never stop growing. It is to put others before oneself, to build trust, to create safety, and to lead with both strength and compassion. It is not about being the smartest or the most powerful. It is about being the one who gives others the strength to believe in something greater than themselves. And when a leader leads in this way, they do not just build teams, companies, or movements, they build people. And that is what true leadership is all about. Leadership is not something you achieve once and for all. It is not a title you earn and then carry forever without effort. It is not a destination at which you arrive, where everything suddenly makes sense and you no longer need to grow. Leadership is a journey, a continuous process of learning, adapting, and improving. The best leaders understand that they will never be finished products. They embrace the fact that they must evolve, refine their skills, and challenge their own assumptions to remain effective. The nature of leadership is dynamic. What works today may not work tomorrow. What inspires one generation may not inspire the next. Leaders must stay ahead of the curve, constantly refining their understanding of human behavior, motivation, and organizational dynamics. The ability to remain open to new ideas, willing to challenge old habits, and receptive to change is what separates great leaders from those who become stagnant. Leadership begins with self-awareness. The journey to becoming a great leader starts with an honest understanding of one's strengths, weaknesses, and biases. Leaders who lack self-awareness struggle to connect with their teams, make misguided decisions, and often repeat the same mistakes. They must be willing to take a hard look at themselves, to listen to feedback, and to actively work on areas that need improvement. Self-awareness is not a one-time realization, but an ongoing practice. It requires constant reflection, questioning one's motives, and ensuring that actions align with values. A commitment to learning is fundamental. Leaders must be lifelong students, not just of leadership theories, but of people, cultures, industries, and technologies. The world is always changing, and leaders who stop learning quickly become obsolete. They must read, seek mentorship, attend workshops, engage in discussions, and learn from their own experiences. Every success and failure is an opportunity to grow. Those who embrace continuous education, not as a task, but as a mindset, set themselves apart. One of the greatest teachers on the leadership journey is failure. Leaders who fear failure often make decisions based on avoiding mistakes rather than pursuing excellence. This fear stifles innovation, discourages risk-taking, and limits growth. The best leaders understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a necessary part of it. They do not hide from failure or shift blame when things go wrong. Instead, they own their mistakes, learn from them, and use them as stepping stones to improvement. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their strategies, and move forward stronger. Great leaders are also great listeners. They understand that they do not have all the answers and that wisdom often comes from the most unexpected places. They seek out diverse perspectives, encourage open dialogue, and listen with the intent to understand, not just to respond. A leader who listens earns trust and respect. When people feel heard, they are more likely to be engaged, committed, and innovative. Leaders who fail to listen miss out on valuable insights, alienate their teams, and create an environment where people feel undervalued. Adaptability is crucial. The world is unpredictable, and leaders must be prepared to navigate change. Organizations evolve, industries shift, and global events create challenges that require quick thinking and flexibility. Leaders who resist change become rigid and ineffective. Those who embrace it, who see change as an opportunity rather than a threat, position themselves and their teams for success. Adaptability is not about abandoning core values, but about being willing to adjust strategies while staying true to a guiding vision. Emotional intelligence is an essential skill that leaders must continually develop. It is not enough to be intelligent or skilled in a particular field. A great leader understands people, how they think, what motivates them, and how emotions drive behavior. They recognize their own emotions and manage them effectively. They know how to navigate conflicts, build relationships, and inspire trust. Emotional intelligence is a skill that requires practice. Leaders must work on developing empathy, controlling impulses, and responding to challenges with composure and clarity. One of the most important aspects of leadership development is learning how to empower others. Leadership is not about personal success, but about lifting others up. A leader's true legacy is measured not by their own accomplishments, but by the impact they have on those around them. Great leaders invest in people, mentor them, give them opportunities to grow, and encourage them to take ownership of their work. They recognize that leadership is not about control, but about creating an environment where others can thrive. Leadership is also about resilience. The journey is not easy, and there are easy disappointments and obstacles. A leader must develop the mental toughness to keep going, even in the face of adversity. Resilience is not about never feeling discouraged. It is about pushing forward despite difficulties. It is about maintaining focus, staying committed to the vision, and finding solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Leaders who develop resilience become beacons of strength for their teams, demonstrating that perseverance leads to progress. Integrity is non-negotiable. Leadership without integrity is hollow. People may follow out of obligation or fear, but they will never truly respect or trust a leader who lacks integrity. Leaders must hold themselves to the highest ethical standards, making decisions based on what is right rather than what is easy or convenient. Integrity requires consistency between words and actions. It means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Leaders who prioritize integrity build cultures of trust and accountability. Collaboration is another key aspect of the leadership journey. No great leader succeeds alone. Leadership is about bringing people together, fostering teamwork, and ensuring that collective efforts lead to greater success than individual achievements. Leaders must learn how to build strong teams, resolve conflicts, and create an environment where people feel valued and motivated to contribute. True leadership is not about personal recognition, but about elevating the group as a whole. Confidence is essential, but it must be balanced with humility. Leaders must believe in themselves and their vision, but they must also acknowledge their limitations and be open to learning from others. Arrogance alienates people, while humility fosters connection and respect. A confident leader inspires confidence in others, but a humble leader earns loyalty. Striking the right balance between the two is an ongoing process of self-awareness and personal growth. Decision-making is a skill that requires continuous refinement. Leaders are faced with complex choices that impact people, organizations, and sometimes entire industries. They must learn how to analyze situations, weigh options, seek input from others, and make decisions with confidence. Indecisiveness creates uncertainty, while reckless decision-making leads to avoidable mistakes. The best leaders develop a structured approach to decision-making, balancing logic with intuition, risk with reward, and short-term impact with long-term consequences. Communication is at the heart of leadership. A leader may have great ideas, but if they cannot communicate them effectively, they will struggle to inspire action. Clear, honest, and compelling communication is a skill that must be developed over time. Leaders must learn how to articulate their vision, provide feedback, motivate teams, and handle difficult conversations. They must also understand that communication is not just about speaking, but about ensuring that the message is understood and resonates with others. The ability to inspire is one of the most powerful traits of a great leader. People do not follow orders blindly. They follow people they believe in. A leader who can inspire others to see a bigger purpose, to believe in their own potential, and to strive for excellence creates lasting impact. Inspiration does not come from authority, but from authenticity. Leaders must learn how to share their vision with passion, connect with people on an emotional level, and create a sense of meaning in their work. The leadership journey is also about giving back. The best leaders understand that their success is not just about personal achievements, but about the legacy they leave behind. They mentor, teach, and help others grow. They use their platform to create opportunities for others, to uplift those who are struggling, and to make a positive impact on their communities. Leadership is not just about climbing to the top, but about reaching back and pulling others up with them. Great leaders never stop evolving. They do not become complacent or assume that they have all the answers. They remain curious, open-minded, and willing to challenge their own perspectives. They seek out new experiences, take on challenges that push them beyond their comfort zones, and continuously strive to be better than they were yesterday. The best leaders are those who understand that leadership is not about reaching a final destination, but about embracing the lifelong journey of learning and improvement. Fostering a sense of belonging and teamwork is one of the most critical aspects of leadership. It is not enough to simply assemble a group of people and expect them to work together effectively. A true leader understands that creating a culture where people feel connected, valued, and supported is essential for long-term success. When individuals feel like they belong, they are more engaged, motivated, and committed to their work. They contribute not because they have to, but because they want to. They care not just about their own success, but about the success of the entire team. Belonging is a fundamental human need. People want to feel seen, heard, and understood. They want to know that they matter, that their contributions are valued, and that they are part of something greater than themselves. When people feel disconnected, they disengage. They may physically show up to work, but mentally and emotionally they check out. A leader's job is to create an environment where every individual feels like they are an important part of the whole. This does not happen by accident. It requires intentional effort. One of the first steps in fostering belonging is to establish trust. Trust is the foundation of any successful team. Without it, people hesitate to share ideas, take risks, or collaborate fully. Trust is built through consistency, honesty, and vulnerability. A leader must be transparent, following through on promises and demonstrating integrity in every decision. People will not feel safe to contribute if they fear judgment, criticism, or exclusion. A leader who cultivates trust ensures that every person on the team feels comfortable expressing their thoughts, asking for help, and taking initiative. A strong sense of belonging also requires inclusivity. Every individual comes with unique experiences, perspectives, and strengths. A leader must recognize and embrace diversity, ensuring that everyone feels valued regardless of their background, position, or personality. Inclusivity is not just about avoiding discrimination, it is about actively seeking out and appreciating different viewpoints. When people feel like they can bring their whole selves to work without fear of rejection, they engage more deeply. They feel empowered to contribute their ideas and perspectives, leading to more innovation and better decision-making. Communication plays a crucial role in fostering belonging and teamwork. People need to feel informed, included, and heard. A leader must be intentional about communication, ensuring that information is shared openly and that everyone has a voice. It is not enough to simply tell people what to do. They need to understand the purpose behind their work. When individuals know why their contributions matter, they feel a stronger connection to the team's mission. Regular check-ins, open forums for discussion, and opportunities for feedback help create a culture where people feel heard and involved. Recognition is another powerful tool in building belonging. People want to know that their hard work is appreciated. A leader must take the time to acknowledge contributions, not just in big moments, but in small, everyday efforts. Recognition should be specific and genuine. A simple thank you, a shout out in a meeting, or a handwritten note can go a long way in making someone feel valued. When people feel seen and appreciated, they are more likely to stay engaged and continue putting in their best effort. Collaboration is at the heart of teamwork. A leader must create an environment where people are not just working side by side, but truly working together. This means breaking down silos, encouraging cross-functional collaboration, and ensuring that every team member feels like they have a role to play in collective success. It is not about individual achievements, but about what the group can accomplish together. A leader must facilitate this by setting a clear vision, defining roles, and ensuring that everyone understands how their work contributes to the bigger picture. A great leader also understands that fostering belonging and teamwork requires emotional intelligence. People are not robots, they have emotions, challenges, and personal lives that affect their work. A leader who takes the time to understand their team members on a human level builds stronger connections. Checking in on how people are feeling, offering support during difficult times, and celebrating personal milestones all contribute to a sense of belonging. When people feel cared for as individuals, they are more likely to invest in the team's success. Psychological safety is another crucial aspect of belonging. When people fear making mistakes, being judged, or being excluded, they hold back. They hesitate to speak up in meetings, avoid taking risks, and play it safe rather than pushing themselves to grow. A leader must create an environment where failure is seen as part of learning rather than something to be punished. Encouraging experimentation, allowing room for mistakes, and supporting people through challenges helps build a culture where individuals feel safe to contribute their best ideas. Team-building activities are also valuable in strengthening relationships and fostering a sense of belonging. These do not always have to be formal events. Even small moments of connection can make a difference. Sharing a meal, engaging in a group discussion, or working together on a shared project helps build bonds. Leaders should look for opportunities to create moments of connection, whether through structured team-building exercises or informal conversations. The stronger the relationships within a team, the more cohesive and effective they become. A sense of belonging is reinforced through shared values and purpose. People are more likely to feel connected when they believe in what the team's for. A leader must clearly define and communicate the team's core values, ensuring that they are not just words on a wall, but principles that guide everyday decisions and actions. When people align with these values, they feel a deeper sense of purpose in their work. They become more engaged, committed, and willing to go the extra mile. Conflict resolution is another important aspect of maintaining strong teamwork. Disagreements are inevitable in any group setting, but how they are handled determines whether they strengthen or weaken the team. A leader must create a culture where conflicts are addressed openly and constructively. Encouraging open dialogue, listening to all perspectives, and finding solutions that align with the team's best interests helps prevent resentment and division. When people feel that their concerns are heard and that conflicts are resolved fairly, they trust the team more and continue to contribute fully. Empowerment is key to fostering belonging and teamwork. People want to feel like they have a voice, that their opinions matter, and that they have ownership over their work. A leader must delegate responsibilities, provide opportunities for growth, and encourage people to take initiative. Micromanagement stifles creativity and engagement. Trust and autonomy empower people to do their best work. When individuals feel a sense of ownership, they become more invested in the team's success. Creating a culture of support is essential. Team members should feel that they can rely on each other, not just for work-related tasks, but for encouragement and help when needed. A leader must set the tone by modeling supportive behavior, offering help, celebrating others' successes, and fostering a collaborative rather than competitive atmosphere. When people see that the leader prioritizes teamwork over individual competition, they follow suit. Inclusivity in decision-making also strengthens a sense of belonging. When leaders involve their teams in important decisions, it signals that their input is valued. People want to feel like they have a say in the direction of the team or organization. Seeking input, asking for opinions, and incorporating feedback into decisions help create a culture where people feel like they truly belong. It also leads to better decisions, as diverse perspectives provide more well-rounded solutions. Consistency in leadership behavior is crucial. People need to know what to expect from their leader. If a leader is supportive one day and disengaged the next, it creates uncertainty and weakens the sense of belonging. Leaders must be reliable, treating all team members with respect and maintaining the same level of support and encouragement at all times. Consistency builds trust, and trust strengthens the bonds within a team. Encouraging personal and professional growth is another way to foster belonging. People want to feel like they are progressing, learning, and developing new skills. A leader should provide opportunities for training, mentorship, and career advancement. When individuals see that the team or organization is invested in their growth, they feel a stronger sense of commitment and belonging. They are more likely to stay engaged and contribute their best efforts. Recognizing and addressing burnout is also part of building strong teams. Overworking people without acknowledging their efforts leads to disengagement. A leader must pay attention to signs of burnout, encourage work-life balance, and ensure that workloads are manageable. Creating an environment where people can thrive without feeling overwhelmed strengthens their connection to the team and increases long-term engagement. Flexibility in leadership is essential. Different individuals have different needs, working styles, and motivations. A leader who adapts their approach to accommodate these differences creates a more inclusive and supportive environment. Some team members thrive on structure while others need creative freedom. Understanding and respecting these differences strengthens the sense of belonging and helps each individual perform at their best. Building a strong sense of belonging and teamwork requires continuous effort, attention, and care. It is not a one-time initiative, but an ongoing commitment. Leaders must remain vigilant, always looking for ways to strengthen connections, improve communication, and ensure that every individual feels valued. Making decisions based on integrity rather than convenience is one of the most challenging yet defining aspects of leadership. Every day, leaders are faced with choices. Some are easy, others require deep reflection, and many test their values. It is in these difficult moments that true leadership is revealed. The temptation to take the convenient path can be strong, whether it is avoiding confrontation, bending the rules for short-term gains, or making choices based on personal benefit rather than what is right. However, leadership is not about making life easier. It is about making decisions that align with core values, even when they are difficult or unpopular. Integrity is the foundation of trust. Without it, leadership is hollow, and people will eventually see through inauthenticity. When a leader consistently makes decisions rooted in integrity, they build credibility. Their team knows that they stand for something, that their words are backed by actions, and that they will not compromise their values for the sake of convenience. This trust is invaluable because it fosters loyalty, commitment, and respect. When people believe in their leaders' integrity, they are more willing to follow them through challenges, work harder toward a shared vision, and stand by them even in difficult times. Leaders often face moments where cutting corners seems like the easiest way forward. It could be ignoring a small ethical lapse, justifying an unfair decision, or choosing the path of least resistance to avoid conflict. In the short term, these decisions may seem insignificant, but over time, they erode credibility. Integrity is not about choosing what is right only when it is easy. It is about choosing what is right, period. It is about being unwavering in principles, even when circumstances make it difficult to do so. The most respected leaders are those who hold themselves accountable to the highest standards, even when no one is watching. They do not make decisions based on what is expedient, nor do they shift their values based on external pressure. Instead, they operate with a deep sense of responsibility, knowing that every decision they make sets a precedent. When a leader compromises their integrity once, it becomes easier to do it again. Small ethical compromises snowball into larger ones, and before long, what was once unthinkable becomes routine. The slippery slope of prioritizing convenience over integrity is one of the most dangerous traps a leader can fall into. Integrity-based decision-making requires courage. It often means making the harder choice, the one that invites scrutiny, resistance, or even personal sacrifice. It can mean standing up to authority, pushing back against an unfair policy, or speaking the truth when it would be easier to stay silent. Many leaders avoid difficult decisions because they fear the consequences, conflict, criticism, or setbacks. But true leadership is not about avoiding discomfort. It is about embracing it when necessary to uphold principles. One of the hallmarks of integrity-driven leadership is consistency. Leaders who base their decisions on integrity do not change their stance based on convenience, personal gain, or shifting public opinion. They remain steadfast in their values, treating every situation with the same ethical framework. Consistency and integrity builds confidence among followers. People know what to expect from a leader who does not waver in their principles. On the other hand, inconsistency breeds distrust. When leaders make decisions based on what is easiest in the moment, they become unpredictable, and people begin to question whether they truly stand for anything. Integrity also demands transparency. Leaders who prioritize integrity communicate openly and honestly, even when the truth is difficult. They do not manipulate facts to serve their interests, nor do they hide uncomfortable realities. Instead, they engage in honest dialogue, trusting that people deserve to know the truth. Transparency builds a culture of accountability where ethical decision-making becomes the norm rather than the exception. When a leader admits mistakes, takes responsibility for failures, and communicates the reasoning behind their decisions, they reinforce a culture where integrity is valued. Leaders with integrity understand that the easy path is often deceptive. Short-term convenience can lead to long-term consequences that outweigh any immediate benefit. A decision that seems harmless today can create ripple effects that damage relationships, reputations, and even entire organizations. Leaders must always consider the bigger picture, asking themselves not just what is easiest right now, but what is right in the long run. Integrity requires thinking beyond immediate outcomes and considering the broader impact of every decision. The most challenging tests of integrity come when no one is watching, when the opportunity arises to bend the rules without immediate repercussions. A leader's true character is revealed not in public moments, but in private decisions. Will they uphold their values when there is no one to hold them accountable? Will they maintain ethical standards even when doing so brings no recognition or reward? These moments define a leader's moral compass. Those who prioritize integrity build a personal and professional reputation that withstands scrutiny. The pressure to conform can also challenge a leader's integrity. In many situations, leaders face external forces that encourage them to take shortcuts, compromise their values, or prioritize results over ethics. Peer pressure, financial incentives, or even cultural norms can push leaders toward decisions that contradict their principles. It takes immense strength to resist these pressures, to hold firm when others are urging compromise. Leaders with integrity are not swayed by popular opinion or immediate gratification. They have a clear internal guide that directs their actions regardless of outside influence. A leader's integrity sets the tone for an entire organization. When a leader makes decisions based on integrity, it creates a ripple effect. Employees take note, colleagues adjust their behavior, and a culture of honesty and accountability takes root. On the other hand, when a leader prioritizes convenience over integrity, it signals to others that ethical shortcuts are acceptable. If employees see their leader bending the rules, they are more likely to do the same. Integrity is not just a personal trait, it is a cultural force that shapes an entire team, company, or community. Integrity-based leadership also means making difficult choices that may not always be popular. There will be moments when the right decision is met with resistance, when standing by principles results in pushback. Some leaders avoid these moments by choosing the path that pleases the most people or minimizes conflict. But leadership is not about popularity, it is about doing what is right. Making decisions based on integrity sometimes means facing criticism, losing support, or taking a temporary hit in favor of long-term trust and credibility. Integrity requires humility. Leaders must be willing to acknowledge when they are wrong, to correct mistakes, and to learn from failures. Pride often stands in the way of integrity, leading leaders to justify poor decisions rather than admit fault. However, the strongest leaders recognize that integrity is not about being perfect, but about being honest. Admitting mistakes, taking responsibility, and committing to improvement demonstrates true character. People do not expect their leaders to be flawless, but they do expect them to be truthful and accountable. The long-term benefits of integrity-driven decision-making far outweigh the short-term challenges. Leaders who consistently make ethical choices build reputations that endure. They attract people who share their values, create environments where employees feel safe and respected, and establish a legacy of trust. In contrast, leaders who compromise integrity for convenience often find themselves facing consequences down the road: loss of credibility, diminished trust, and a culture of ethical ambiguity. The choices made in moments of pressure define not only the leader but the future of the organization or community they serve. Integrity is not just about avoiding unethical behavior, it is about actively choosing what is right, even when there is an easier way out. It is about aligning decisions with values, standing firm in difficult moments, and setting an example for others to follow. The world is filled with leaders who choose convenience over integrity, but the ones who truly make an impact are those who refuse to take shortcuts. They recognize that leadership is not about making life easier for themselves, but about setting a standard that others can respect, trust, and follow. The most enduring leaders are those whose decisions reflect a commitment to ethical principles rather than personal gain. They do not operate based on what benefits them in the moment, but on what will serve the greater good in the long run. They understand that leadership is a privilege, one that comes with the responsibility to make choices that uphold the highest moral standards. They do not compromise even when tempted, because they know that their integrity is worth more than any temporary advantage.